have 8 new people.
Awesome.
Hey
everybody.
What's up? Go Ted, Alicia, Gustavo, 9, 10, 11.
Cheers,
Derek,
baby.
Lynn Abate Johnson, Abate Johnson.
Lynn, how are you?
We have Kim Garst.
Oh,
Love Kim.
Kim, we were talking about you today in the car.
Yeah, in a
Only
good way.
shit, I
in a good
promise
way.
you.
And Alicia, and there's Courtney in the background, and Derek.
This is not pure lemonade.
No.
This is very hard lemonade.
So, Ted, we keep gathering more and more people, but I'll say all their names.
You don't have to say names.
I'll say it in a little bit, but
Okay.
what does the hashtag no let up mean?
So, first of all, just to give you a little history, there's a buddy of mine named Tony Luisi who I met when I was at 800 Flowers. He reported to me. He helped me run corporate sales and a whole bunch of other things. And Tony's a great guy, and he's a ball player, and he's got 3 sons and a daughter. And a few years ago, he started this thing called No Let Up. And like a lot of people, it started, he kind of ran with it for a little while. It was a side thing. And he told me about it, and he gave me a bunch of things like the bands. And he knows what I've been through with my family and my kids and a bunch of other things. And he said, dude, this is so in line with you. And I tend to adopt things, and he encouraged that. And he said, go for it. I said, listen, I'm going to hashtag this. I'm going to start using it in ways that he's never used it. And he said, fantastic. So for me, no let up is that it goes into so many places. No let up is life. No let up is business. No let up is our health. No let up is everything. So it kind of started with my daughters, as you might or might not know. I have to fight to keep my daughters in my life. My ex tried to take them away from me, and I spent 4 years in court. Finally winning a case in 2010, which, by the way, winning is not always the greatest thing. What I won was my rights to stay in their life, but it's still a difficult thing, and it's an everyday thing that I'm always battling. And my daughters were alienated, and I talk about it a lot when I'm on stage, because it's also taught me a lot about connecting with an audience that doesn't necessarily want to connect with you, and marketing to consumers that might not want to do something. And I started just thinking that there's no let up in this. We've just got to always be going. It never ends. And, we all think like, if we just get one more gig, if we get one more job, if we do one more thing, it's going to be time to breathe and relax. But to me, it just never ends. And what you've got to do is embrace that and realize that you can do a lot of those things within that parameter. So that there's no let up. We don't stop. But that doesn't mean I can't take a day or a weekend or come down to San Jose and spend a night with my buddy Brian Kramer and Courtney. Brian was on the phone. He's like, dude, we're not going to get to see each other this trip. You want to come down? I said, sure, come up and pick me up in San Francisco and drive me back to the airport tomorrow. And Brian looks at me and says, I wouldn't do that for almost anybody else. And I said, well, I wouldn't add a day on to a whole week trip in San Francisco for almost anybody else. So there's a win-win because but also I got to drive with Brian for an hour and hang out in his amazing new car, by the way, guys. Awesome car Brian has. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he was driving. I think we were just talking and the car was driving itself, so it's kind of cool. But, for me, No Let Up has just become a real just part of my life. I'm on this 24/7, these platforms like social, and I love them, and I'm obsessed with them, in that I always want everything to be right. So, you post something on Instagram, you syndicate it to Facebook, but Facebook still hasn't fixed that integration where, it gets posted correctly.
They're asking what kind of car.
A Tesla. It's freaking awesome. I mean, a silver, gorgeous Tesla.
Brian Fanzo, he's on now. He said because Ted is authentic and awesome.
Well, Fanzo, man, love you, buddy. We were talking about you today, and I miss you. As much as I know how great it is for you to move to Virginia, how you do with your family, I do get to Phoenix a few times a year, as you know, and I'm actually thinking maybe I shouldn't go to Phoenix anymore because Brian Fanzo isn't there. It's just not the same. The hell with my old friends. The hell with my wrestling coach that I know since I was in 6th grade, and my friend Tracy I've known since I was in kindergarten, nursery school even. Fanzo's not there anymore, but truth be told, again, for me, it's no let up. It's no let up that we're on these things 24/7. It's no let up that, we wake up to our phones and we want to see what kind of communication is going on. It's no let up that, I'm a dad and my daughters were little girls and I adored them, and then they're teenagers, and even if they're not alienated and you don't have the problems I had, our girls change and our kids go away. But again, there's no let up because we're always their parents and we always have to be there for them, and they're going to have things in their lives. And then we grow up, and my mom and dad passed away within 14 months of each other, and that's a whole change because it just doesn't end. And sure, now my parents are gone, but I got my brothers and friends. So for me, it's wrapping your arms around and embracing the fact that this is an endless thing, this thing called life, and that we just can't let up. We got to keep at it. And that also means no let up is no let up finding time for yourself, or no let up turning off some of those things. It's,
How do you turn off?
Oof, that's a good one. I think the only place I really get to kind of take it down a notch is at the beach, and it's why you guys see me at the beach a lot. First of all, I like working there, so I'm not necessarily turning it off. But the other thing is, it's a place where I can breathe, and even if it's only for 15 minutes that I turn everything down, but it's a place where my mind allows me to think. And why do I jump on the social? Because when I think of something, I use social instead of that little notepad. When I have a thought at night, when I wake up with something, I tweet it out because then I get immediate feedback.
What does balance mean to you?
That's a good question. Balance to me is that I keep friends in my life. I'm very lucky. For years, I would be in businesses where entertaining meant going out with people you didn't like. It meant, selling that corporate CEO or somebody that you had to be with. I'm very fortunate. I work around the clock, but I work with people I love. I'm doing something that I love. I get to work with people that are trying to wrap their arms around something that's really important to me, because for me it's about relationships, and I really believe there's been a change. I think people are starting to value relationships much more than they did before. I think a lot of people got very into anonymity for a while. There was mass merchandising, there was ability to go shopping and nobody knew who you were, but actually people did know who we were because all that data was being collected. But now I think people want to be close to people. People sometimes say, oh, Facebook makes you less friendly, but it actually doesn't if you use it properly. I know things going on in Brian and Courtney's life that I never would have the time to know otherwise if I don't see them all the time. I know I get to see Brian fans, those beautiful little girls, posted, and my friend Lori Pace, who's a blogger in Houston, Texas, who's got these gorgeous children, and she, by the way, I have another Twitter handle, one of many, called @parenting, PARENTNG, and I recognized early on that I am not a mom, although sometimes I perform that function, and I was getting all these questions from mom bloggers that wasn't just about me as a dad. So Lori Pace helps me with a lot of that and partners with me on that thing and answers a lot of the mom questions. And I get to see her kids all the time, and I have my friends from, I didn't understand this early on, but I've been a community builder my whole life. All my friends know each other. And I have friends from all different walks of life, from wealthy friends to police officers to firemen to guys that I just meet at a hotel, and they all know each other. All my friends have met each other over time. I've always brought them together, and now I have this ability to do this 24/7. And that's, to me, is what brings the balance into my life. It's being able to call out Brian Fanzo and say, dude, I don't get how to use Periscope and Snapchat because that doesn't come to me naturally. So he spends a half a day with me or a full day with me in Phoenix, walking me through them, and then I can take them and start figuring out how to use them in ways that work for me. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's kind of my balance. Hanging out with guys like you. I love hanging out with families, with kids. I love Henry, who, by the way, I've new nicknamed Brian and Courtney's son. He's now Hank.
Which is an ex-boyfriend of Courtney's. But that's
perfect. Right. So it makes you feel really good when I call you son Hank, And I love being around people with kids because my kids I don't get to be with as much as I'd like to be. So I want to be around those kinds of families, and that, to me, that's my balance. Not Facebook. Social has actually given me my balance.
Who do you like to work with?
Who do I like to work with?
Yeah. When you make money, who's your ideal person for being able to do stuff with, to be?
Well, I'll say it here and I'll say it now. I desperately want to figure out some way to work together with Brian Fanzo more regularly.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about that. I invited Brian on stage with me at Social Media Marketing World.
I was there.
And it was awesome. and I loved it, and people loved it. So I'm trying to wrap my arms around that. I like working with people that recognize the value in relationships. I like working with people that understand that it's not just about the numbers, that it's about judgment. It's about watching how people react. It's recognizing that the majority of people don't interact on social. They do what I call participating vicariously. And that they're watching conversations and they're becoming a part of that. I like working with people that recognize that it's not just listening tools you use, but you actually go in and talk to people. I mean, I was at a session today at Brand Innovators where we had 4, and I'll be posting it soon, so check it out. I did a Periscope. I'm going to be posting the Periscope on Facebook and some other places. But it was for, millennials, young millennials in their 20s on a panel, talking about what they care about and what they do. And some of the comments on Periscope were making me laugh because they were going, they were making fun of them. Like, oh, big deal, millennials in the wild, and oh, they don't really like that. But they were being really authentic. They were speaking their minds. I mean, so I go into these brainstorming sessions, I hear people saying, millennials are very concerned with their futures and they really watch their finances. Bullshit. They're fucking kids. I'm sorry. And they don't care. They're not worried. They think they got 50 more years to make money, so they're willing to spend money. And these guys were on this panel talking like, oh my God, I go to Mint and it lists my what I have in the bank, and then it shows my credit card debt, and I just turn it off. I don't even want to know because as long as I got money in my bank account and I can use my credit card, I'm happy. And this was very authentic and real. And they're not going to these things to figure out how to save for the future.
Ted, where do you see yourself in 2 years?
I'm living here with you and Courtney. I'm waiting for your kids to go to college so the room will open up for me. Because that's going to be my retirement plan. I hope you recognize that. So Pure Matter better start really ramping up.
There's only 1 year away
above
from
and
that.
beyond. And I do expect to have use of the Tesla. So truthfully, being a little bit more serious, I see myself kind of doing the same thing I'm doing right now. I love sharing. I love writing my thoughts. God bless America and God bless these social platforms that allow me to be in the age of influence. And my new book is called The Age of Influence, where anybody can build a brand, affect change, make a difference 24/7. So I'm hoping that at some point I can be paying more attention to doing good for whatever it happens to be, whether it's working with a not-for-profit or it's just doing my own thing. Or I'm not a big not-for-profit guy. I'm happy to support them. I'd rather just be giving my time to people on an individual basis. So I just want to be in a place where I want to keep working, I want to keep doing everything, but I want to know I don't have to. It's really, uplifting to know that I'm doing something just because I want to. But a lot of us don't have I'm 57 years old. I as much as I'd love to be living here with you and Courtney, I'm not sure exactly that you'll welcome me in. So I've got to make sure that I can take care of myself.
What? You will always have a room.
Can I call you guys mom and dad?
Yeah, you can call us brother and sister. I don't know about. So, what does the word success mean to you? To you and to Ted Rubin, not to you as a community or people and how they can do it, but for you, when will you consider yourself successful?
I think we're hardest on ourselves. I speak, and whenever I get off stage, I know everything I did wrong, and I'm critical of myself that I forgot something or didn't say something, that I don't realize that the people listening don't know what I know I didn't say. So success for me has changed over time. There was a time when to me, success is I wanted to be Gordon Gekko. 100 million. I was in the investment business. I was offered, $5 million for my company back when I was 29, and I said, "What are you kidding me? I want to be a player. $100 million." Now it's like, where's that $5 million? Things change. So for me, success is being around people that I care about. It's going to be solving this conundrum I have with my daughters, where they finally feel free and have a free and clear of their mom, that they can have a relationship with me. That would be a huge success for me. Right now, what I've done is I've learned to change my expectations around that, in that I don't expect as much, and therefore I'm happy with whatever I get. But I certainly want more. I want to be a part of their lives. I want to be a grandparent. I want for them to have kids. And then I struggle with, where do I want to be? Do I want to hang out with my buddies and grow with them, or do I want to find someone that I want to share my life with? I'm really kind of torn on that, to be truthful.
What is your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness is that I don't want to sell myself anymore. That's my biggest weakness. Let's define that. my biggest weakness in business, because that's not necessarily my biggest weakness in a personal life, but that I want to do everything somewhat organically. That doesn't mean you can't control it or work around it, but that I want to grow my brand, I want to write my content, I want to talk about what I like, and then I want people to buy me. I don't want to sell myself. And I consider that a weakness, because I'd like to, God bless, things are great, I'm doing wonderfully. Most people's definition of success, I got it right now. But I'd also think I could make a lot more money if I wanted to be Jeffrey Hazlett or Chris Brogan. I mean, you know, those guys are out there selling themselves every single day. I get emails from them 5 times a week with what they want me to buy and what they want me to sign on for and what they want me to do. And I don't want to do that, but that doesn't mean I won't ever do it. And that doesn't mean I don't respect that they're doing it, because they're monetizing. I don't want to sell myself. I want people to see what I'm doing and say, we want you to do that for us.
Do you think you could ever be off of digital, social media, digital, email, all that for 5 days straight?
Okay, I've done it for 48 hours. So I don't know if I could do it for 5 days straight. I'd love to try. The problem is right now is that I'm not willing to try. Now, August coming up, by the way, is going to be, right now it's looking like an awesome month. I have no travel that I have to do for business.
Wow.
There's no Brand Innovators events in August. None of my other clients have anything. I just took some stuff that was in August and we put it up to September with a couple of my clients. That doesn't mean something might not come up, but it can be really cool because I could do things for myself and I could actually potentially take 5 days. I'm not sure if I want 5 days off. Now, about 2 or 3 years ago, John Andrews, when I was working with him at Collective Bias, decided that I was burnt, and he was 100% right. I was really burnt out. And he told me I had to disconnect. So he started a hashtag, Save Ted Rubin, and it was really fun. And he told me that he challenged me that I could not be off all digital for 24 hours. Now, I'm a challenge kind of guy, so I said, the hell with you, buddy. I'm going to be off digital for 48 hours. And after 24 hours, people started writing things like, where's Ted? Oh my God, is he okay? And I waited 48 hours. So I actually have done that. I'm not sure I could do 5 days.
Where do you find your creative power? Where does your creativity get built from? How do you wake up every morning? And I don't mean no let up, but I mean, how do you find the ability to keep going and power through to the highest level possible?
It comes from other people. It's why I love social. I am not your thought leader that sits in a room and comes up with ideas. My ideas come from other people. It comes from getting on social, reading tweets.
Did you say idea?
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker. I mean, give me a break. See, this is for Brian Kramer. My idea has come from reading what other people write. I give this as advice to bloggers and other people, is that I comment a lot on other blogs. Most of my blog posts come from reading blogs and then commenting and then getting a little fired up because I either agree and I want to take it to another extent, or I disagree. So I get a lot of that passion from all the content that's out there, all the things I'm reading. I wake up in the morning and I look at all my media posts and Business Insider, all the different emails I get. I watch the news. I look at stuff, guys like you, Brian, and Brian Fanzo, and other people. And then I love to serendipitously look at my feed. Someone just asked me today, do I ever go to my Twitter feed and actually read it? And I do. And I do it for 2 reasons. I do it for inspiration. And I do it because I like to serendipitously retweet people just to make them feel good and to do things like that. So I get a lot of inspiration from those kind of things. And that's where a lot of my ideas come from.
So
my ideas.
So how long have I known you? I've known you for 3-4 years now.
We met at Smarter Commerce.
Yeah.
IBM Smarter Commerce, I think in 2011.
And when I met you, I brought you a pair of socks. And,
you did, and I've worn them so many times that they're almost like worn out.
Thank you, because now I need to get you a new pair of socks. But
I still have my peacock socks that Courtney got me last time I was here that are knee highs.
Well, and how funny that the word cock is in peacock. So, what
surprising.
What I was curious about is, the reason that I brought those because I wanted to connect with you, and a lot of people bring you socks, but
12 pairs this week.
Yeah, so you get a lot of socks, but we built a friendship. I think that's pretty close.
By the way, quick shout out to Adam
Hellway, yeah.
Hellway, I always pronounce it wrong. And to Michelle Killebrew, who just brought me awesome socks this week.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So everybody out there, you're getting tons of messages. Peacock, funny. So that got a lot.
Peacock. I mean, it's kind of like, that's like a Seinfeld episode. Remember, what was the one about manure? It's man. It's newer. It's like pee. There's pee. Everybody loves to pee. It's kind of very relieving. And then there's cock. Which, I mean.
That's my favorite joke. What do you call it?
Yeah. Brian Fanzo just wrote P and then in all caps cock.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, and Fundy Bay Social lol. That's a new topic. So anyway, what to you? Because early on when I brought you the socks, there was a kind of a newer concept. And now there's lots of socks coming out, and Ted Psaki is a big deal. But how does somebody get through to you to show you that they're seriously interested in becoming a friend? Because now you're getting socks all the time. So how does somebody get to know you? What for you?
Understand something about the socks is it's a conversation starter. It's not necessarily about the socks. It's about an easy way to communicate, an easy way to do something nice. It's like the person that collects owl statues or bells, and it's something that
snow globes,
right? And Courtney collects diamonds, by the way. So
here's Courtney, by the way.
Yeah, because you better make dinner for me. I hope you're out there, hope you're slaving away.
I am.
I'm going to be on the barbecue soon.
But back to Brian's question. Somebody gets my attention, and this is how I try to get other people's, is they share my content, they comment to me, they get to know who I am. They look me in the eye digitally. I mean, look, my book is How to Look People in the Eye Digitally, because it's that they're actually reading my profile, that they're making a comment about something that I've written about. And that's what you do with people, to show them that you're actually interested in them, that you're not just reading their handle name, or that you're going in. Look, there's no excuse anymore. You can know something about everybody. It's all out there. So if you, I'm very careful that if I'm getting on the phone for a business meeting, I go check those people's social profile. I want to see what they posted on LinkedIn. I want to know what they last posted on Facebook. I want to know if their kid had a birthday 2 days ago that I didn't happen to know about, but I'm on the phone with them, because when I mention, hey, that birthday party looked great, they know that I care enough to be checking it out. And yes, they know that I strategically did it for that meeting, but that's okay. That still shows interest. Or I'm a crazy stalker, because yes, there are, and I have, but I actually value my stalkers. If you're out there, if you're watching him, thank you very much. I love when you comment on every single thing I post.
Brian said I stalked and supported Ted for almost 7 months before I made my jabs for a hug.
There you go, because that was social media marketing world, 2014. And Brian, actually he scared me a little bit back then, but no, I'm kidding. So
here's the closing question.
You can tap the screen twice and it looks at you, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Fanzo taught me that.
Fanzo. So here's the closing question. If you had one thing that you could wish for in the next few years that would just change everything for you, and what you don't have now and what you would want,
that my daughters were allowed to freely love me without any fear of repercussions. There's nothing I would value more. It could be today, it could be 10 years from today, it can be any time. I just want them to feel like they don't have to worry about those things. And as much as it's for me, which it is, it's for them. They live a very difficult life in that respect. And I can't imagine what goes on in their heads. So, that's just a no-brainer. If that's what you're asking me. If it's anything, that's it.
Anything.
That's it right there.
All right.
That's it.
Well, it's a good place to end.
Yeah. Be good to people, everybody.
Why don't we all help think about that?
And love Chris Wittenberg and her Be Good to People movement. I love it. We connected, around my Just Be Nice and Return Relationship. She's awesome. She has new baseball style t-shirts. I can't wait to get mine. And that's it, everybody. Have a great weekend. And I am going to, as soon as this is over, I am hugging Brian. Just want to make sure we're clear on that.
Well, we can do it
Here, I'll hold it.
on camera if you want.
Awesome.
There you go. You guys are gonna witness.
It's a bromance.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, so much love.
okay, turn it off.
Okay. I don't know how to turn it off.
No, I'll take that over and
Time
do
for some
that.
peacocks.
All right, guys. Take care.